with the new governor coming in place, and I understand a lot of the staff positions and the agencies are remaining the same. Has any of you heard anything? Will there be a change in the Renewable Energy Commissioner, Dr. Geekall? Is she being asked to stay on? Has anybody heard anything? And this affects more energy efficiency policies. For example, the one statute that's supposed to happen in January, that when houses are transferred, that there's to be an energy audit performed by a certified third party. And those regulations are in play as we speak, and there's some question as to whether or not that's going to happen in a timely fashion or if it's going to change because of the change in administration. Have you all heard anything?
I think it's probably too early to say on a lot of that. I mean, the new governor, the governor-elect Sandoval, he's announced a couple of cabinet and department head positions that are going to remain the same. Announced some new people in a couple of spots, but the vast majority, it still remains to be seen if he's going to keep the incumbents on or if he's going to replace some new people. So at this point, I don't think we know.
Okay, well, we'll ask you for your crystal ball in a couple of more weeks again. Commissioner Reed, I was wanting to know if you could give us some insight on the county commission election results, and if you've heard anything of the new members, what their views are towards sustainability and clean energy policies, and first, and then secondly, if there will be any changes on the Southern Nevada Regional Planning Commission, because I know that they often have some oversight on these issues, and if there's going to be some change up there, that we could see some changes on the local level, or if we get to continue with things as they might be moving along.
First of all, good afternoon. Good to see a lot of you. There's one new commissioner replacing me. Her name is Mary Beth Scow. In that election, there was really not much discussion of environmental issues, frankly. Mary Beth served on the school board for a number of years, so I don't know if these issues have been things that she's dealt with. She's a reasonable person. She's very approachable, and my advice to you is, rather than worry about what her opinion might be, I'd encourage you to help her form it, because I think she'll be open to what you say. She's well-meaning and excited to do the job. The way the commission's organized is it's kind of like a student body election. Everybody's jockeying for position to see who the new chair is. It won't be me, it'll be somebody else. There's a number of commissioners that want that job. If they get 3 votes and vote for themselves, all of a sudden they're chair. So,
you know they'll vote for themselves.
So, and the chair will have, that whole process will dictate what happens with Southern Nevada Regional Planning Coalition. Oftentimes, as a new chair emerges, it results in different shifts in the current boards. Right now you have Christian Kiliani, who is an advocate of environmental issues without question. Susan Brager, who is also on Southern Nevada SNRPC. I don't know if they want to stay there or not. Frankly, both of them want to be chair, and oftentimes, deals are made. So, stay tuned. I have no idea how this will end up.
When does that take place, Rory?
Well, it's taking place now. You just don't know it.
Oh yeah, we do. Sure we do.
Yeah. But the first Monday in January, whatever that date is when the new board elects a chair, and all the other boards and commissions, all in one motion. In the blink of an eye, it will all happen.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the federal level, if we might. We haven't heard yet too much from Majority Leader-elect Boehner about committee changes in the House, but obviously the House, the balance of power has shifted away from the Democratic control to the Republican control, And the House of Representatives previously passed the ACES bill. Do you want to speculate on what this election recently means for the future of that and some other energy policies at all? Rose?
Well, since you use the word speculation,
Yeah.
you know, frankly, that's really all that we can do. The changes were fairly dramatic, and they were changes that many people anticipated, maybe not to the extent that we see the changes in the House, but they are significant. And I'm sorry that Congresswoman Titus isn't here to speak from her perspective, because I think she clearly has probably a much better sense of what to anticipate. That said, on the House side, it is a body of rules and very stringent procedures. They are back, as Kyle indicated, or excuse me, as Scott indicated, in a lame duck session with a handful of items, including the need to approve a resolution that will allow the government to continue through the fiscal year, and a variety of other issues that are all over the media space today, including a meeting with President Obama. The ranking members of the House for the various committees are now vying for opportunities to chair those committees. They are being challenged by others who are on the committee. And so as you go through the information that's available, there are a handful of names that surface in the critical committees. And at this point, for our purposes, we're talking about the Committee for Energy and Natural Resources. Within the Committee for Energy and Natural Resources, there are 4 different subcommittees. So everything is in flux. I kept trying to come up with a word that I could use. The other thing I think we have to think about is the geographics, as well as, and I'll just put up the quote words, the politics. Because we will see a dramatic shift because of the phrase mandate. There appears to be a view that because the election results were so significant, that members of the incoming majority feel a mandate to behave in a certain way. They have collectively been reluctant to embrace many of the policies that we're here discussing today. It doesn't mean that we won't see any progress. I think we'll see a shift in some of the activities. We are not likely to see on the short end any activity around climate or global warming or some of the things that you and others worked really hard on this summer because we couldn't get a bill. You will see ongoing emphasis on energy efficiency. You will see more emphasis on some of the existing programs like Energy Star, I believe, that have the potential to fuel the economy through job creation. They will come back to all things related to the economy. I don't believe that a Joe Barton from Texas or some of the other folks who are in line in the House to take on leadership will view things in the same way that the prior administration did. I mean, that's just the reality. It also means that, in my view, and as someone who's been an activist, advocate, yes, the L word, a lobbyist for a number of years, going back to 1983 in this state, yes ma'am, that we are going to have to look at our conversation a little differently. I think that, as the commissioner says, we have a heavy obligation to continue to educate. Your participation in a forum like this means that you have fundamentally the interest, whether or not it's a civic interest or a business interest, you have that. And we have to reach the heart of that, I think, to move forward. So my crystal ball says, I don't know.